In this video, we're going to look at adding work effort to our schedule. Okay, a little bit more involved than some of the simple scheduling processes we've been through, but in the end, it's not all that hard, and it actually is very useful. What we're basically really establishing here is the project realistic? How much work are we asking of people? And we're also giving ourselves the basis to calculate the costs. So with that, we'll go and have a look at the schedule. And we can see this is our schedule that we've used previously. And what we're just going to check here is that we're in fact in the scheduling view. Okay, so this is one that's sort of set up especially with an extra column or two just to help schedule as opposed to other ones which are more focused on status reporting. So we'll go over, we'll have a look, and we can see that we've got this extra column called work effort sitting next to our duration. We've put the durations in before, and we're going to go, okay, who are we going to give this first task to? And we're going to give this to Colin. So we'll tick Colin, and we'll see what it's done. It's decided for us that it's going to take 8 hours because we said it was 1 day. And in this case we go, yep, that's good because we think Colin will probably take all day to do it. Now the next one, really that liaison work sits with Peggy. She's the project manager. And we go, oh, 56 hours, that doesn't make sense. So we're going to go, well, actually we think it's probably more like 8 hours. And that 8 hours basically gets distributed across the 7 days. Now, developing the options, we really need a few people involved in this. We need Colin, because he's defined the product, and we want Henry, because he's good at that stuff, and of course we want Peggy involved in it as well. Okay, and it's gone a bit crazy, and it said 32 hours, because it says, well, 2 days times 3 people. But we actually really think there's probably only about 16 hours worth of work in there. There's some work from all the participants in a workshop, and then there's some writing up that needs to be done. So we'll put that in for the time being, but we don't actually know who actually is going to do this, the writing up and so on. So the work may not be that even, but so we'll need to come back to that. Okay, we're going to do the writing of the business case. So again, we'll give that to Colin, because he's the person who writes the stuff, and then review and approve. Sorry, before we get to that, he's not going to spend 24 hours on it, but he'll probably spend, say, about 12 hours on it, and he'll spread that over the 3 days. There might be a bit of discussion required while he writes it up. Okay, so then we go review and approve. Well, that involves basically pretty well everybody. Okay, so Norris, Peggy, Roberta, and Stan, and it's not 19.63 hours, it's probably more like maybe 8 hours amongst everybody, you know, a little bit of writing up and all that sort of stuff. Contingency. So, well, contingency needs to go to contingency, and that'll help us later on when we want to work out the total contingency that we put into our plan. But we also want to put Peggy in charge of it. But she's not doing any work on it. Now it gives us 16 hours. We're actually really saying probably it's an 8 hours of contingency we're talking about here. Sorry, 16 hours worth of contingency. And then that takes us to initiation complete, which is 0 hours. Now we're still going to put Peggy in charge of it. But effectively that won't put any work in there. Okay, so we've got a few things to sort out here. So back in developing the options, how are we going to deal with this? Well, fortunately we've got a very nice little panel that we can call, which is called details, which we can bring up. And what that will give us is all our information about that task, but it also gives us a resource little panel here. And it gives us the predecessors over here, which is not something we're going to use at this point. So we go, okay, here we are developing the options, and we know that we've said we're going to do 2 days, 16 hours work, roughly, and in reviewing this we go, okay, Colin's going to do the bulk of the work, so we're getting him to do 8 hours. We're going to go 4 hours for Peggy, and we're going to go 4 hours for Henry, and we'll fix all that up. Okay, and now we've got a more logical distribution of the work. Same with review and approve. Okay, and again here we want to go, okay, so we're going to get Colin to, we're going to get Peggy to do most of the work on this, so she'll have to run around chasing people. So there's 4 hours there, and basically we go 1 hour for Colin, 1 hour for Henry, 1 hour for Norris, 1 hour for Roberta, and 1 hour for Stan. Okay, so in revising that, we'll just go okay to that. We've actually come up with 9 hours, so it's just given us a little chance to think about it in a bit more depth. Now the contingency. Now here we've got it's evenly distributed between contingency and Peggy, but in fact Peggy's not going to do anything, so we're going to put 0 hours for her, and we're going to put 16 hours here for contingency itself. Okay, so we now have part of a project that's been resourced, but what's the impact that that's going to have on all the resources? Okay, so what we will do is we'll go to our Gantt chart up here, we'll click, and we're going to go to resource usage. Okay, and what we'll just do is we'll just close some of these things down, make it simpler to view, and we'll have a look here, and this is all scheduled by day, but we can schedule it any way we want. And we go, okay, well what we've got here is Peggy on Tuesday's got 3.15, Wednesday, and all that sort of stuff, and she's got a total of 16 hours. Stan only has to put in an hour, Norris has got 1 hour, Colin's got quite a lot there, so we might have to review his scheduling, his work allocation, and the rest looks reasonably okay. And there you go, that's basically it.